Hello and welcome back to the daily number workout. Number 26 today. So let's go for the word form. Should be getting pretty good with the word 20. And today is 26. All right, let's go for factors. So we'll start with 1 times 26. And because it ends with a 6 here, it is even, and all numbers that are even, 2 goes into. 2 goes into 26. It takes 2 13s to make 26. Then we go 3. 3 goes into 24, and the next number would be 27. So 3 doesn't go in. 4 goes into 24, and then 28. So 4 doesn't. 5 doesn't go in because it doesn't end with a 0 or a 5. 6 doesn't go in because it goes into 24 and then 30. 7 doesn't go in because it goes into 21 and 28. 9 doesn't go in because these two numbers don't add up to 9, and 9 goes into every number that adds up to 9. 10 doesn't go in because it doesn't end with a 0. 11 wouldn't go in. 12 wouldn't go in. So we are done. And there we have it. And since there's more than 2 factors, one in itself, since there's 2 and 13, it is not a prime number. Prime numbers are only if one in itself are its only factors. Let's go on to multiples. So multiples are numbers. We're going to do 1 times 26 is 26. And I'm going to get out my scrap paper. Hopefully you got out your scrap paper. If you did multiplication, if you did addition, that's fine. However you do yours that you're comfortable with is awesome. So I'm going to go on to 2 times 26. So I'm going to write 26 times 2. And this is good practice for your multiplication factors. 2 times 6 is 12. Drop the 2, carry the 1. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5. So the next one is 52. And then we're going to do 26 times 3. 3 times 6 is 18. Drop the 8, carry the 1. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7. So our next one is 3 times 26 is 78. Then we have 26 times 4. 4 times 6 is 24. Drop the 4, carry the 2. 4 times 2 is 8 plus 2 is 10. 104. Now we're going to do 26 times 5. 5 times 6 is 30. Drop the 0, carry the 3. 5 times 2 is 10 plus 3 is 13. So 130 is our next number. Then 26 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36. Drop the 6, carry the 3. 6 times 2 is 12 plus 3 is 15. Then we have 26 times 7. 7 times 6 is 42. Drop the 2, carry the 4. 7 times 2 is 14 plus 4 is 18. So we have 182. And then we have 26 times 8. 8 times 6 is 48. Drop the 8, carry the 4. 8 times 2 is 16 plus 4 is 20. So we have 208. Now we're going to move on to 26 times 9. 9 times 6 is 54. Drop the 4. Whoops. Carry the 5. 9 times 2 is 18 plus 5 is 23. So we have 234. And then the final one, of course, is 26 with a 0, because 10 times any number is that number with another added 0. So check your numbers. If you got it incorrect, just put a line through it and mark it. So like if I got this one wrong, I just put a line here and then put the right number above it. No worries. Okay, let's move on. We got our multiples. At least we've got 10 multiples of 26. Remember, multiples are infinite number of multiples. So let's go for our fractions, decimals, and percents. So again, we're just playing with numbers in many different mathematical ways. So we're talking 26 over 100. And 26 doesn't go into 100 evenly. 13 clearly wouldn't, but 2 does. So we're going to divide the top number by 2, and we're going to divide the bottom number by 2 to get an equivalent fraction. Well, we know 2 goes into 26 13 times because it tells us right here. Remember, division is like multiplication backwards, like subtraction is addition backwards. So this would be a 13 on top, and we know 2 50s make 100. So our equivalent fraction would be 13 50ths. All right, to do our decimal, we go back to hundredths, and that would be 0 and 26 hundredths, and make that decimal nice, fat, and juicy. Here we go with our percents. That would be 26%. Now let's go ahead and write this out. This would be 20 600ths with that THS. And this would be 0 and 26 hundredths. All right, let's check out ratio. I'm just going to slide it up here. So this would be 26 colon 100 or 26 to 100. And then we'll also have our dollars. And I'll move this up a smidgen to get our dollars in. 1 second, I got to get, all right. Our dollars in. So I'll move that up. So we got our dollar symbol, 0 and 26 cents. Again, writing it out in words, 0 and 26 cents. All right, let's move on. Going right into area now. And we always get our areas from our factor pairs up here. So always refer to your factor pairs. Everything we're doing on this paper all correlates with each other, so we can use it all to our own wonderful toolbox. All right, so let's start with the first one, 1 by 26 or 26 by 1. So we're going to draw our big long rectangle. It doesn't have to be perfect. And we're going to say that's 26 by 1. So our area equals 26 times 1, because area is width times length, and that equals 26 square units. Our perimeter there would be 26 plus 1 plus this 26 plus that 1. And that equals, we know 26 plus 26, according to this up here, our multiples up here was 52, plus 2 more is 54. So I'm using what I have to help me do this addition quickly. And the more I do that, the more I'll remember these different numbers. Okay, so again, we're looking over here, and we're going to stand it up this time, making it a 1 by 26. Area equals 1 times 26, which equals 26 square units. Make that units. All right, make this units. Don't let me forget. All right, so and the perimeter, of course, would be 1 plus 26 plus 1 plus 26. So we're talking about 1, 26, 1, 26. And that equals 54 units. It's the same exact numbers in this problem. So we're just going to use what we know already. All right, so the next category would be a 2 by 26. So we got a 2 by 26. I'm sorry, X-nay that, 2 by 13. So area, and we'll move this up so you can see what I'm doing here as I play around with these numbers like you did before you came on here with me. 2 times 13 equals 26 square units. So we're utilizing the same square units every time. We're just putting them in a different form, a different rectangle. All right, and the perimeter of this would be, so we're talking 2 by 13. I'm just gonna make this crazy so you get an idea of what we did. So these are perfect squares, but you get the idea. So perimeter would be a 2 plus 13 plus 2 plus 13. And I put these together. This is 15 plus 15, so it's 30 units. Use what you know. So I know that 2 plus 3 is 5, so make that 15. And then that would be 15. So I know 15 plus 15 is 30. That's just what I know. You might see it differently. So honor you. All right, let's go this route and make it 13 by 2. So this would be area 13 times 2, which we know is 26 square units. And the perimeter would be a 13 plus 2 plus 13 plus 2 equals 30 units. Nice. All right, our area and perimeter is done. Hopefully you've written these all down as we went. And let's move on to volume. Again, we're using the same numbers. So this time we're going to do this long, skinny. So this is 26 by 1 deep by 1 tall. So this volume would equal 26 times 1 equals 26 cubic units. All right, we can stand this one up like this and say it's a 1 by 1 by 26. 1 by 1 by 26. We're just making this many different ways. Then we're going to do this one where we have it. We see the front of it, a 1 by 26 by 1 tall. All right. So we can do that because we're using the 1 by 1 only 3 different ways. So the next one that we saw was, and I'm just going to write it down, was a 2 by 13 by 1 is what we're going to be doing, which is 26 cubic units. So let's come over here. We're going to make it 2 wide. So we got 2 wide, 13 deep, and 1 tall. So this is what it looks like. A 2 by 13 by 1. All right. So let's change it around. Let's say it's a 2, and now we're going to flip-flop these ones by 1 by 13. So what does that look like? 2 wide by 1 by 13 tall. There we go. 2 by 1 by 13. All right, the next one. So we did the 2s. Now let's do 1 first. 1 by 2 by 13. Of course, these are all cubic units. We know we can flip these around to make our next shape, our next rectangular prism. So let's try this one out. It's 1 wide by 2 deep by 13 tall. So that's a little different than this one. Don't have to be perfect. So 1 by 2 by 13. So there we have that one. So let's do the other one, which would be a 1 by 13 by 2. So again, 1 by 13 by 2. 1 by 13 by 2. All right, so now we are going to start off with the 13. So let's do 13 by 1 by 2. So what does that look like? 13 wide by 1 deep by 2 tall. So that's as close as we're going to get. 13 by 1 by 2. And then the last, but not least, 13 by 2 by 1. All right, so let me see here. I got 13 by 2 by 1. So how's that look? Let me 13, whoops, by 2 by 1. And that, of course, is 26 cubic units. Boom. Hopefully you've got all those. Pretty good run here for the number 26. Thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you again for the number 27. Have a great day.